We're not trying to do something that is bound to fail. This is bound to fail. That's the problem. That's what these, you can't get it through these people's heads, bro. You legitimately, guys, it's not possible. Because the people that used to make fun of you for playing video games in high school and college are now running the video game companies, and they have no idea what players want monetized and what makes a good game. This is crazy delusion. Like, he thinks the game will fail because it doesn't have enough pay to win in it. Like, the game failed in Korea because it's too pay to win and has too many bots. All right, it's time to catch up on what is going on in Throne and Liberty. All right. So we all know Cannon, everybody's favorite PvPer from Black Desert. Everybody loves Cannon in the BDO community. Okay. Cannon made a video and said, I told NCSoft people think their game is pay to win trash, and here's what happened. This is for Throne and Liberty, which, by the way, is a super PvP game. Okay. As much as Cannon might try to deny it, I don't think he does. PvPers and BDO hate Cannon.
Well, I just got back from NCSoft headquarters, and I had an opportunity to speak and ask questions to the people running Throne and Liberty. Not only did I ask them a couple of questions in regards to monetization in the West, as well as the version that we're getting in the West, but I was also sure to let them know that a lot of people in the West are already calling their game pay-to-win garbage simply because you can...
Simply because it is. Look, you guys know it. I know it. We all know it. The game is giga pay to win. Beyond what BDO is. And the worst part is not even the pay to win, it's the botting. I'm actually much more concerned with the botting. If they can't keep the bots under control, this could be a little rough. It's gonna be a little rough. I'm gonna play the shit out of it when it comes to the West so that you guys don't have to. I'm actually really excited for Throne and Liberty release. But let's not pretend for even one moment that A, the combat is just not as good as Black Desert's, and B, it's not pay to win. Because it absolutely is pay to win. What I'm looking forward to personally is being able to change into different animals and run around. That looks pretty fun. And then the PvP systems look really fun too. Like shot calling, getting together with your guild and like PvPing and like open world and stuff. That looks like a lot of fun. Like, I am looking forward to Throne and Liberty, but let's not pretend that it's not like giga pay to win, right?
Purchase Lucent, which is their auction house currency, with real money. Here's what happened.
일단 외국에서는
Raphael, I already did that.
이게 루센트를 살 수 있다는 게
I'm gonna move up so you guys can see what they're saying. In the West, the fact that you can purchase Lucent.
아예 pay to win 현지라는 게임 쓰레기 game.
There are so many people that think the game is completely pay to win and it's garbage and it's in the garbage can. I personally played the game a lot and I think it's really fun, the Glaze. I'd like to see this game do well in the West, but there's too big of a negative image. And when it comes to the history of NCSoft, almost everyone in the West thinks it's not good. They're never going to invite this guy back. They are never inviting Cannon back to an open forum. He is cooked. He is gone. Like Jae Kim in Blue Squadron. I don't even exist. He's spitting facts, but only yes men are allowed in here. That's why this guy is laughing right now. This guy's gone. This guy's like, you know, he's making some good points, but he's probably gonna get turbo. This guy got on the wrong plane. So the Western servers are released. Is the monetization going to be the same? Or will you allow Amazon to make adjustments to it? I will explain it separately. Because our goal is to keep the global and Western service as one identity. We currently have no plans to operate them separately. Okay, I know that most people are going to be like, no, we're going to get the pay-to-win garbage. No, guys. That means we're going to have the same version as Korea. because they're going to operate the same. No split releases. Sure, we're going to have a pay-to-win garbage game, but theoretically, Korea does not have a different version of the game. In addition, because we are operating two different regions, we are in discussion with Amazon. Okay? For now, it can be explained that we are combining the KR service and Amazon service as one identity. I mean, it's an L for monetization, but let's be honest, we knew it was going to be pay to win anyway. Also, is it correct that you are asking, are you servicing going live with the old version for the global version? Oh no. Will the game be under the same version or playing catch up? The Western service will be a little bit behind the KR service. No! No, God, please, no! No! Bro! Dude, why? What are we doing? God damn it! So I have to play another game where Korea literally gets everything before us? Okay, maybe it's just at the start. Maybe they'll just launch the game for us and then they'll quickly catch us up. Just like console for PDO. Western service will be a little behind the KR service. Also, the improvements made during the KR service will be applied to earlier parts of the game that AGS is servicing. So what you're saying is, in no uncertain terms, KR is going to playtest your patches first. And then when we get it 2 months after them, then we will get to play it. But it won't have as many bugs. Oh no, he's retarded. Bro, I hate this shit, bro. I hate this shit. Although, I'll be honest with you, BDO's in a completely different situation. BDO has been out for, what, 7 years in the West? Right? Almost 8 years, I guess 8 years in the West now? Right? They've had more than enough time to catch us up to the Korean release. In fact, at this point, they're deliberately keeping us behind Korea for no reason other than translational, right? This is a lot different. This is a lot different. This is, we're releasing, this is kind of like BDO releasing in China. Well, they can't just drop the entire game on China. They're going to have to release Medaya first, then quickly release Valencia, then quickly release, and so on, right? But like all the quality of life changes will be there until they catch up. I'm hoping that Throne and Liberty, once we catch up, because we shouldn't be super far behind them. Once we catch up, they will just start releasing things together. Because at the start of his discussion, he said the goal is to make them one version of the game. One version. So like, my guess is that we're going to catch up hopefully pretty quickly. Yeah, we're going to be a little behind at the start, but they should catch us up reasonably fast. Raid Zari, thanks for the Prime sub, man. I appreciate that. And again, JJ should be telling them that. Guys, don't take this from me, guys. BDO is complete garbage right now. You cannot take away the only beacon of hope I have for this game. Throne and Liberty is going to be perfect with absolutely no problems, and we're all going to play it for the rest of time. And this guy, this is not Jay at home, okay? This is Jay Reborn. This is Jay 2.0, okay? This guy is not stupid. This is a smart person. Can I join your launch guild? Yes. You're all more than happy to join my launch guild. Also, improvements made to the KR service will be applied to earlier parts of the game that AGS is servicing. We already read that. In the end, both sides will be affected by the same changes. To put it simply, if one version makes improvements, both versions will be affected by those improvements. And they are working towards making one identity, as he said before. I think the West is going to really dislike the Lucent pay-to-win system if I'm going to give my recommendation. Completely remove the ability to purchase Lucent with money and make it easier to farm. But then how will we make any money? Because to be honest, if you don't swipe and play the game, farming Lucent is really difficult.
루센트 파밍하는 게 되게 힘들어요. 이게 좀 그렇게 경험이 그렇게 좋지는 않은 것 같아요. 일단 외국에서는
I don't think it's a good idea. When Throne releasing in the West soon, there are a lot of people that are excited. I'm really excited. Because of the pay to win, because you can purchase Lucent, there are a lot of people that won't even try the game. It's true. I'll be honest with you, developers are so brain dead when it comes to pay to win. They literally launch their game as pay to win, and it deters so many players from even trying their game. It's insane. What you do is you bait them in, okay, with promises of no pay to win. Get them all hooked on the game because they're degenerates and they're addicted, and then introduce pay to win slowly to the game. I don't understand why people haven't figured out this business model yet. Exactly what BDO did. Yeah. Not on my channel, but on others as well. Big creators with a lot of viewers. If you see their chat, yeah. You'll see a lot of I'm not playing that pay to win stuff. And of course, there'll be some people say it's not bad. So I want to know if there's going to be a difference. Guys, I can't wait for this game to launch and have me spend $4,000 and be immediately stronger than every single one of you. I'm actually just going to roll you guys. I'm just joking. I'm not going to do that because I don't have $4,000. But I think that Throne and Liberty does have a tremendous amount of potential. I really do. I think that the game could be really good. I think the graphics are there. I think the PvP systems are really good. Based on what I've seen. I've not played it yet. The effects look really solid, right? The combat's not quite as good as BDO, but the PvP systems that bring people together are better than BDO's. So, like, I think this is a win, right? This is a win. The problem is, I think it's going to have a lot of bots. I think it's going to be really pay to win, which is causing a lot of people to convince it's going to flop. I have to generally agree with that sentiment. I'm not going to lie. I think that if those two problems are introduced at launch, it's going to tremendously hurt the game very badly. We're still very hyped about it, but there are a lot of players that kills it altogether, and it just won't have the following. Like BDO has a very consistent player base because we all got hooked on the game before they introduced the pay to win, and we were already in too deep at that point. We were already in way too deep. There was nothing we could do. Okay, they're introducing it out of the gate, so a lot of players aren't even going to try the game. Canon's not wrong. Currently, we're planning to proceed with the singular model that was discussed. But as you said, the concerns surrounding pay to win, or as some would see it as aggressive monetization or prejudices about the game and the company, we will continue to discuss and improve this matter further. No, it's cooked. If you introduce it like this, it's cooked. You'll lose millions of dollars. I know it'll sound like, oh, we're going to make millions of dollars because it's pay to win. They will lose many more millions because they won't have enough players playing the game. That's what people like this do not understand. They feel like they need to put pay to win in the game to make the game worthwhile. And the answer is you don't. You need to have really solid cosmetics in the game to make the game worthwhile. And the game needs to be good. If the game is good and you have really good cosmetics, you never have to introduce pay to win, and you'll have a larger player base than Throne and Liberty, Lost Ark, and Black Desert put together. If you have as good a combat as BDO has, and you don't have pay to win in the game, so many more people would play it. Like, on God. Like, it literally wouldn't even be close. We would all immediately start playing that game instead. I currently have zero intention to play. That's because you're going to watch me play so that you don't have to, so you can watch me bitch about how garbage it is. You're all welcome in advance, by the way. I'm taking the bullet for all of you. This subject is continually being criticized and discussed internally as well.
혹시 여기 팀이
Is your team aware of the Western mindset? The fact that you can purchase Lucent?
이렇게 루센트를 살 수 있다는 게 그 외국에서는
Do you think it will be accepted in the West, or?
대화 아니면 약간 좀
I'm curious. They're literally laughing. They're laughing at him. They are literally laughing at Cannon's question. This is crazy, bro. They're like, dude, why do you keep asking this? Like, bro, what, bro? Because he's really pressing him. He's really pressing him. They're not going to change. But Cannon, I guarantee you, is sitting in his chair going, this video is going to eat. I will guarantee you that Cannon is like, they ain't going to change shit, but I'm going to confront them about it, and this video is going to eat.
외국 문화를 잘 알고 계시는지 그것도 되게 궁금해요.
Curious if you properly understand the Western culture. We are not personally managing the entire global service. Is because our publishers have better understanding of the respective regions than we can go through. Clearly they don't. Amazon, well, we can see, guys, Amazon Games is really good at managing MMOs. Amazon Games traditionally has made extremely successful MMOs that have really high peak player counts and that are just beyond success. They know exactly what they're talking about. So smart. Such good numbers. Wow, many numbers. The part where you're concerned about Lucent, we believe that this is much. We believe this much is possible and made the decision to move forward with it. Yeah, it's cooked. We're not trying to do something that is bound to fail. This is bound to fail. That's the problem. That's what these, you can't get it through these people's heads, bro. You legitimately, guys, it's not possible. Because the people that used to make fun of you for playing video games in high school and college are now running the video game companies, and they have no idea what players want monetized and what makes a good game. This is crazy delusion. Like, he thinks the game will fail because it doesn't have enough pay to win in it. Like, the game failed in Korea because it's too pay to win and has too many bots. So the parts that you're concerned with, we will talk to AGS and make it possible to make improvements. No, it's too late. If you release it with pay to win and then try to change it at a later date, do you know how much people care about that? They don't. You've already lost your millions of dollars. Because the relaunch day is the most important thing. Launch day is when all of the players are going to try it, and first impressions are everything. Ask NCSoft how well Blade and Soul does. I don't want to. There are a lot of concerns for the Lucent system. There are a lot of people who don't like the current system in both global and Korea. However, I just want to say that there's a lot of people here who just put a lot of hours into Throne and Liberty. Is there anyone here who thinks the current Lucent system is excessive? A single person that thinks the pay-to-win system makes it hard to play the game. I truly think there is no one. This guy is glazing this dude's dick so hard, I swear to God, he's wearing knee pads. You just can't see it. This guy is glazing so hard, he's actually got his knee pads on. Like, he's like, does anyone actually think that the pay to win is all that bad? See, Sweetie Pumpkin, Buttercup, you're Korean. We're American. See, we are American. Hi, Americano. Okay, that's whatever the f that was Spanish. Whatever. We're American, dude. In Korea, pay to win is not perceived as negatively as it is in the West. Okay? In the West, America, and pretty much everywhere else in the world, pay to win is considered dramatically bad. Like giga dramatically bad. It is super bad. Okay? This guy is completely delusional. Completely delusional. If he thinks that it will not hurt. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that the game will do just fine. Is there anyone that actually thinks it's that bad? It is. If you actually play the game, the canon did mention this would be received negatively. Yeah. But if you actually play the game, players will understand that the game is user-friendly and is a good system. Oh, sweetie. Oh, Butter Pumpkin. We're not going to. Yeah. No. We're not going to play the game for 100 hours to see if it's seaworthy. Okay? If it's pay to win, millions of players will not try it because it's pay to win. Okay? And if that's the direction you want to go with your business model, dumbass, you should start as non-pay to win to get everybody to play the game and enjoy these systems that you think are so good. And then you introduce pay to win later to them to scam them out of their money because they already know the game is good and they will be addicted. As it stands, many people will not even try it because it's just pay to win. And that's what this moron does not understand. And imagine being in a public forum, guys, and just glazing the guy on the desk. This is supposed to be like a feedback forum, I would assume, for players to like bounce questions off them. And this guy literally raised his hand so he could just open his mouth and let the dick slide down his throat. This is crazy. I just want to say that the creators of this system don't get too much backlash.
He's 100% paid questioner.
Literally paid questioner.
To me, actually, he was just so that last clip was in response to me. Actually, he was just another player or audience member that was there. He was just essentially saying that,
Cannon, you're the champion we need. That guy was a idiot.
You know, as you guys read from the clip, he thinks that the system is fine, and he wants, he's hoping that NCSoft gets more credit for.
Well, maybe he can get in a Discord call with the other 9 Throne and Liberty Korean players. You know, and they can discuss it. You know what I mean? Do you know what's really funny? Look at all these empty chairs. I think the system is fine. The fact that the executive producer is having a forum and the seats are not filled, the game is fine. The pay to win is totally acceptable. It's no big deal. Do you guys, for 1 second, do you think if Jae-hee Kim flew to the United States and said he was going to have a feedback forum like this for players, do you not think that every chair of that stadium, I'll fly straight there. You think I won't? I don't give a shit where it even is. I'll fly straight there, and on behalf of the player base, I'm gonna ask some questions. Okay? But this shows you how popular. This shows you how popular the game is in Korea. That they don't even care enough to show up and fill the seats. That's how bad it is. It's crazy, bro. It's literally insane.
Was there. He was just essentially saying that, you know, as you guys read from the clip, he thinks that the system is fine, and he wants, he's hoping that NCSoft gets more credit for what they've done. To be fair, I actually don't disagree with him in that regard. Number one, NCSoft's all of their previous titles up until this have been really bad when it comes to monetization.
What did it say? He misspoke. I meant to say I couldn't. I actually don't disagree completely in that regard. NCSoft has done better.
said GM Buffs BA5. Does that mean they were listening to you for Buffs lol at blue_squadron?
That's
previous title.
That's what I said before. I said, isn't it weird, guys, that the CFGM team is not in my chat? But like I said earlier, they're here. They're just not here, if you catch my drift. I said, guys, hasn't it been like a long time since we got GM Buffs? And not 30 minutes later, boom, GM Buff BA5. I just want to say thank you so much for giving us GM Buffs. You're amazing. We love you. Okay. Cannon, don't roll this back. NCSoft is notoriously bad for pay to win, and their games are worse because of it.
Up until this have been really bad when it comes to monetization. Throne Liberty's monetization, despite being systematically pay to win from day one, like they announced that even before the game came out, that loosened system, the monetization hasn't gotten worse. In fact, you could argue that it's gotten better. I would absolutely say that it's gotten better outside of the...
So is BDOs, but we lost so many players because of the pay to win in the first place.
Premium subscription they just did recently add. Outside of that, the actual systems in the gaps between a free-to-play player and a pay-to-win player, they've improved. It's been easier to catch the pay-to-win players. It's been easier to reach the caps of gear as a free-to-play player, which, by the way, I mentioned this in my TL review video, which I'll link in the description below. I do want to be very clear that my opinion on the pay-to-win is still the same. That is that in comparison to other Korean MMOs, it's really not that bad. I personally believe that the pay to win in Throne and Liberty is better than the pay to win in Lost Ark and BDO. In other words, I think BDO and Lost Ark, it's...
Lost Ark's pay to win system is way worse than BDO's. Way worse. It's not even, like, the line isn't even close. Okay? In Black Desert, the pay to win line, I'll be the judge of this. I'll be the judge of this. When it gets here, I'll figure out just how pay to win the game is, and I'll give my take on this. I'm not sure if he's wrong about this. I'm not sure if he's necessarily wrong about this.
More pay to win than Throne and Liberty. That does not mean I accept the fact that pay to win exists. I am certainly more tolerant to it because it's like every game is pay to win now, right? And if you are looking at it from the lens of, hey, I am tolerant.
Hey, it could be that he's right. It could be that Throne and Liberty is less pay to win than BDO, and it's less pay to win than Lost Ark, and they still take this L. That's the problem. Because it is pay to win, it doesn't matter. The second that you say it's pay to win, players don't care that it's a little pay to win or a lot pay to win. At launch, they're going to ask, is the game pay to win? And you have to tell them yes, and they're just not going to play your game. And that's just the truth. He could be absolutely right. Right? He could be absolutely right. Doesn't matter.
To a certain degree, how bad is it? As long as...
anyone arguing in my chat that BDO is not pay to win is actually capping out of their mind. You can literally spend money on like US dollars on outfits and sell it for silver in game. Actually, just wild. Like, what are we talking about, guys? Come on.
It's not too bad, I'll play it. Then I think Throne and Liberty will be just fine. But that still doesn't mean we can't try to voice our opinions and let them know, hey, we don't want pay to win to begin with. Being able to purchase Lucent, being able to purchase gold is pay to win. We don't want that, period. And that's what I kind of hope to do. That's what I kind of hope to do in this forum, because not only did I want to express that opinion, but I also wanted to genuinely see what their reaction would be, what they would say. I don't know. I mean, how many opportunities do we get to talk to the top of the people at the top of the food chain, top of the pyramid when it comes to these MMOs in Korea, and tell them face to face directly, be like, hey, on behalf of the Western community, we don't like this shit. This is what people think of you and your monetization scheme. It's not good. Also, I do want to mention that the updates that they did announce, almost all of the stuff that they announced were big W's. The community really liked the content that was coming, and they actually also added things that look to be on paper less pay to win. It looks to alleviate the pay to win a bit, but they did add more vertical progression, so we're gonna just have to see how those two things balance out. But overall, the roadmap, including the pay to win gaps or the pay to win systems, it seems to be getting a little bit better, even better, since the beginning. But again, it doesn't excuse the fact that the game is systematically pay to win. Put it this way, guys: if they announced that the Western version of Throne and Liberty was going to remove the ability to purchase Lucent, if they were going to remove the ability to purchase Lucent with real money, there would be W's across the board. That single change.
They would have probably 2 times as many players at launch if they removed pay to win from the game at launch.
Would mean the game, as long as you're tolerant to battle passes, and optional premium subs, which I feel like is a very different thing to straight up being able to purchase currency. If they were to remove the ability to purchase Lucent in the West, that would be such huge. I mean, it would help their reputation, and it would also be the difference between tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of players playing their game at launch.
Which is a translation to millions and tens of millions of dollars, guys. Literally 2 times as many players, but there's no pay to win, means they're going to make way more money. Way more money. Sadly, this is not how Koreans see it. They don't fully grasp like how to monetize their games correctly. They don't. They really just don't. They are capable of making some incredible games like Black Desert and Lost Ark, right? And Throne and Liberty. They suck at monetizing them. They do. They just suck at monetizing their game.
NCSoft, Amazon, please understand and recognize, especially NCSoft, the Western audience is the biggest audience you're going to get with Throne and Liberty. It is your second chance. Throne didn't do very well in Korea for obvious reasons that you're already aware of.
Exactly what we're talking about here. The game is shit. If you make it pay to win and it's got a lot of bots in it, nobody wants to play it.
The amount of people playing Throne in Korea is not even near the amount of people that are going to be giving it a shot in the West. You can multiply that number significantly by just removing the
it's easier. It's because it's easier monetization than having to constantly pump out cosmetics. That is true. It is much easier.
These elements, which I know they're not going to be removed because the game fundamentally relies on this, and they would have to completely change the game if they wanted to remove the Lucent system, which they're not going to. But just understand the Western sentiment. Please try and be a little bit more in touch with that. Please try and recognize that more. I'm telling you this right now. It's so significant. You are losing so many players by just having this system of being able to purchase Lucent for your launch. It's huge. It's huge.
He's right. This is a good video. Go interact with it. That's Cannon right there. Cannon used to play BDO. I know the PvP player base and BDO doesn't like Cannon very much, but the rest of us love Cannon. He's a great creator.